This is my 2019 MacBook Pro 13-inch. It's the i5 2.4 gigahertz version, 256 gigabyte hard drive, and the 16 gigs of RAM. This is my previous computer. See, it's boxed up, and you may be wondering, why is it boxed up? This is my cup of coffee. This is my 2020 11-inch iPad Pro. This is the base model, 128 gigs, and it comes with 6 gigs of RAM. This is boxed up because I am selling this, and I am moving to this iPad Pro full time. A lot of you might call me crazy, but I've been using this full time for the past 2 weeks, 14 days, and I haven't touched this other than yesterday to reformat it so I can sell it. This video is all about the pros and cons of doing that, things I found that were amazing and things that I found need some tweaks, but nothing was a deal breaker for me. A lot of people say on videos that, you know, switching to an iPad Pro will add tons of time to your workflow and it's just not practical. But for me, I would have agreed with them at first, but after using this for 2 weeks, I have a completely different opinion. So let's go over the pros of using this iPad Pro full-time for me. Now, what do I do for work? I am a digital marketer. I have my own digital marketing business. That includes doing things like SEO, like Google ads, Facebook ads, and also website design. So that was the biggest thing that I wasn't sure on. Would I be able to design websites with this? And the answer is yes. Now, I don't do much coding right now. I do know HTML and CSS. However, with WordPress and all the drag and drop editors out there, like the one I use called Elementor, it just works flawlessly on the iPad. I've tried this before without mouse support on the iPad and it was horrible, would not work. But since 13.4 came out, it's a non-issue and it's fantastic. So what else do I use my computer for? Video editing, browsing the web. It's just, you know, other than that, just normal things. Next pro, portability. I can go anywhere with this thing and use it anytime, anywhere. Take this in the car and just pick it up and go. It's so portable. I can be on my hammock working, watching videos, anything like that. It's so amazing. This wasn't too bad, but the main issue with this is it gets insanely hot. Can't put this on your lap because it fries things down there, and yeah, guys don't like that. And it's not lap friendly. Battery life on this has been better than on a MacBook Pro. I can easily get through a full day of battery using this all day long. While this, 3-4 hours doing video editing, stuff like that, and it's depleted. iPad Pro, no problem. Next pro, LumaFusion. Now, on this I was using Final Cut Pro, and I've tried Adobe Premiere. LumaFusion is very feature-packed, and I love using it. I love being able to touch and just drag and pinch and all that other. It is amazing, and it makes my video workflow so much quicker. The next pro is monitor support. This is kind of a pro and a con, more of a pro, but whenever you hook up a monitor to this thing, it enlarges everything and it makes it a lot more workable. If I was just working off this 11-inch screen the entire time, I don't think I could do that. But when I plug it up to my monitor, it's great. It works great, no issues. The con is it letterboxes everything. So I don't know why Apple, hopefully they do in the future, but why they can't just spread it across the screen. That'd be amazing. Give you more screen real estate if you plug in an external monitor. It has the power. What's up, Apple? Make it happen. The next pro is USB-C. Yes, this has 4 USB-C ports. This only has 1. But with the dongle, anything is possible, and I can hook up microphones or anything else, hard drives, anything I need to get my work done, I can hook it up to this thing. And the last pro, which kind of was possible prior to 13.4, but not really, is the mouse and keyboard support. Like I said before, without having the mouse support on this thing, it wouldn't work really well. It wouldn't work. At least for switching from this. Wasn't really possible before. So with that, let's go into some of the cons. And while mouse support is a pro, it is also a con. While 13.4 is a drastic improvement, it's still buggy and it's still laggy. It lags significantly when using the mouse. As you can see on the screen right now, there is a very noticeable delay from when I move my finger on the touchpad to when it moves on the screen. I don't know why, it's gotta be a software issue, and I have no doubt that Apple will fix this, hopefully sooner than later, but for right now, I'm living with it. Along with that is pairing is sometimes an issue. Once it's paired, it's fine, but it does take some time to actually get my trackpad, my mouse, and my keyboard all paired. And on that note, whenever I walk away with my tablet, if I turn off the Bluetooth devices, it doesn't automatically turn them off inside of the iPad, so the keyboard doesn't pop up when I'm trying to use the on-screen keyboard. I have to go into the settings, turn off Bluetooth in order for everything to actually pop up. A little minor inconvenience, but it is a workaround and it works fine for now. The next con is not all programs work on it, and this is not going to be an issue for the vast majority of you guys, but I have one program that needs a Mac, Windows, or Linux operating system, and that's called Screaming Frog, and I use that to actually audit websites for SEO. I did find a workaround for this, and that's installing a VPS. That allows me to basically have a server somewhere else and remote into that server whenever I need this program, and it's Windows. I can do whatever I do on Windows, I can do on this. And you can use something like Parallels Access or even Microsoft's RDP, which will actually allow you to take your sound and everything else and pump it over through your iPad. So it's just like using a Windows computer, just remotely. The next con is browsers. Now I'm still experimenting with this. Chrome, which was my primary browser before switching, constantly crashes. It constantly, every time I leave it and go back in it, all the pages are gone. It says, oops, we crashed. Sorry, don't know what to do about that. Restore pages, and then restore it, and you have to log in again. Safari, which I do not like, every time I leave, or if I have multiple tabs open, I go to another tab, it seems to refresh the tab. And with 6 gigs of RAM on an iOS device, that doesn't make any sense. So what I've been using now, and it's been working really well, is Brave. You can have several tabs open, leave Brave, come back, and then all the tabs are there. And it's just been a flawless experience right now. And my browsing is more private, so that's a plus. And it uses the same browser that Chrome uses. So far so good with Brave. I'm just calling it a con right now because I am having to switch browsers from Chrome, where I have everything synced, into Brave. But it's honestly probably a good thing that this is happening. So ultimately, why did I decide to switch? Number one is portability and also cost. You cannot find another MacBook this is $799. I actually got it for $150 less than that on Amazon through a sale. With the amount of power this thing has, the next closest MacBook that you have is the MacBook Air, which starts at $999. That's $200 more retail for this. And this thing has a lot more power than that MacBook Air. Video rendering times is great on this. It's better than on my MacBook Pro using LumaFusion. And the MacBook Air has such a slow processor on it. This, no doubt, is a better choice if you're doing video editing like I am. No doubt, 100%. The next reason I ultimately changed is mouse support. 13.4 is fantastic. Yes, it is a little buggy and a little laggy. And I'm really wondering if it's the same issue when I receive my Magic keyboard. Is it the same issue? Does it still lag? I'm gonna guess not, because it doesn't rely on Bluetooth to actually connect. It connects via the pins on the back. So we'll see if that's still an issue. I'm gonna guess not, but we'll see. Regardless, it's something that Apple needs to fix, and I know they will fix it eventually. But for now, it's fine, and mouse support is ultimately a major reason why I can switch from my MacBook Pro to the iPad. And the final reason why I ultimately changed was a better workflow. Now, with somebody that doesn't use this for a full 2 weeks and doesn't touch their MacBook Pro, they may see the flip. Like when I first started doing this, it took me a long time to get used to it, and the workflow, it did take longer. I'll fully admit that. But after using this for 2 weeks, it's a cinch. I just pull up everything and it's no problem, 100%. The thing with the MacBook Pro is I had a really, really bad habit of having 30 different windows open, 30 different tabs, and that's why I needed so much RAM. I was still maxing that out. That was just crazy. It was really hard to focus on what I needed to do. Using the iPad gives me a distraction-free environment. If I'm writing something using Bear or doing video editing, that's all that is on my screen. Granted, I can multitask, but most of the time I don't have the need to do that. And it just makes me focus, and it just keeps me on task. And I love that about the iPad. It's great. So there you guys have it. That's why I am selling my MacBook Pro and using the iPad full time. That's my workflow, that's what I do. And this channel is gonna be full of a lot of different apps that I use and workflows that I do to do what I do. So you can see how I do web design, so you can see how I do video editing, the apps I use, things like that. So if that's something that interests you, definitely subscribe to this channel, because there's going to be a lot of awesome content like this coming up, and you're not going to want to miss it. So appreciate you guys. A lot more to come. I love doing this stuff and love you guys. See you guys in the next video.